Aloha from Hawaii. How is everybody doing? I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. Today is a good day. Today's a fabulous day. And how are you? How is everybody doing? If you're tuning in, give me a little shout out in the chat or in the comments below where you're tuning in from. Today, I have a special episode releasing the identity of the other. Sounds interesting, right? Like, what do you mean identity of the other? I have my own identity. But have you ever experienced an experience where you were in a relationship and you got lost in identity of the other? Have you been married for so long that you forgot your sense of self? Maybe you were in a relationship and it ended and you never really let go of that other person's identity because your life was surrounding that person for so long that you became them. So today we're going to go deep and do a deep dive into understanding what is the identity of the other, how to identify if you are in that experience, and how to bring that back to wholeness. Yeah. And I'm also offering a light language and theta healing activation to bring that back into holistic balance. So, yeah, let's talk about what we got going on in this episode today. So, we're going to learn about the identity of the other. And we're going to talk about the activation coming up for full moon Wednesday, June 11th. And I will be channeling a live sigil today and then gifting it for free for you wonderful people. And you'll get to experience me in action. I've done it a few times before, and today will be, I think, the third time or fourth time I'm doing it live. So if you're curious about what sigils are, if this is your first time watching me and you don't know what a sigil is symbolic symbols from the universe that I channel from the divine, and it just flows through automatic writing, which is a psychic ability that I have. And these are live energy. The sigils are live energy, and you can print it out at home and use it to bring holistic balance. Now, the intention that we put into the sigil is going to be what it will bring into your life, what it will shift in your life, what it'll transmute or bring into your life. So we're going to decide that together. I'm going to let you decide what you need, and kind of choose what we're gonna channel today for that. All right. So let's talk about this. So when you build your identity around being in a relationship with someone else, you start seeing your worth, your love, and purpose only through that connection. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but it does happen. You know, when you're so in love, you're feeling all these feelings and you're like fireworks, or you've been just with somebody for so long and you became this one unit because you're together for so long, and you forget your sense of identity and everything is related to them. If they're there, if they're not there, everything, you become like this one unit. And when that happens, you start losing your identity with yourself. And then that can cause a lot of emotional imbalance. Because what if that person passes on? What if that person decides to one day go up and leave? Where is your divine identity with yourself? Are you going to be left broken, or are you going to be left strong and whole with the divine? Now, I'm not saying that grief is not part of life. Grief is a part of life. When there's love, there's loss, because nothing lasts forever, right? I'm here. One day I'm not going to be here. That's okay. We all die. We are not going to stay here. And grief, when you love somebody, grief is part of that love, because that's not going to last. So grief is a welcomed experience, in my opinion. It's part of love, because grief defines how much you actually love the person. So the person feels that absence. But this is a kind of a different experience that I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you lose identity of yourself, that you lose the sense of self completely and you get lost in someone else. And so what we are going to do today is figure out if you are having that experience, if you had that experience, maybe you're not, maybe your relationship ended and you still are in that experience. You're like, "Oh my God, you're so right. How do I bring this back into balance?" So we're going to dive deep into that. And you become the beloved of another instead of the beloved of your own soul. So the idea of sovereignty, the idea of spiritual growth, the idea of enlightenment is really to come back into the sovereign state of the divine, but it's divine creator. It's divine. It's you, the divine heart of the one holy and true, which is you and the divine heart of creator. When another person comes into your life, that's a gift when you are already whole. But if you are dependent on love from the other person, you lose your identity there, you're not going to be in your divine heart because you're always going to be extending outwards. And the whole idea is to come inward to the divine of love thyself. So, what is the identity of the heart of another? So, let's just talk about keywords here. You define who you are by the role you play in a relationship. Hi, Andrew. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you for a minute here. Good to have you, brother. You define who you are by the role you play in the relationship. You lose connection to your desires, purpose, and rituals when focused on them. Have you ever had, I remember I had a boyfriend once that had no hobbies that he liked to do. Everything that I wanted to do, he wanted to do. And I'm like, wait, I don't want you to do everything with me. What do you like to do? So like you kind of, there's these people that come in or they don't really know themselves, right? And so they kind of leech onto the other person like, oh, but what do you want to do? Let's figure this. Like, I don't know what I like, so I'm going to do what you like. And so they focus all of their energy on the other person, right? Your worth feels tied to their presence, attention, and validation. So everything that they do or don't do reflects your inner world and your emotions. You shape yourself to match what you think they want. You know, those people have partners and then they start to mimic them, or they think they like this, so they start doing what they think they would like. That means they're trying to be that identity of the other person and lose and not being themselves because they think, oh, this guy, for instance, a girl is dating a guy and she's not into hiking, but then she's like plays along. Oh, I love hiking because she wants to impress this guy. But then she loses her sense of self. Like, this is just a small example, but this could be many, many different things, right? Have you ever had that experience that you wanted to impress somebody so much because you like them and you kind of just like pretended that you maybe hid parts, like hid qualities of your personality or things or experiences because you wanted the approval from the other person? But honestly, the best thing that you can do, in connection is show up as yourself. It's the right, because that's, you'll know if the right person is for you or not for you, because that's how you know. Because eventually you're going to be yourself. So show up as you are. Okay. When the relationship shifts, your identity feels shattered. Now, this is the most important thing and why this activation and why this work is so important, because you don't want to fall apart. You want to be in your power. All of these activations and all of these transmissions that I bring into this reality from the divine is basically just to bring you back into your power. We never want to lose our sense of power. We always want to have our divine heart really strong, because life is dynamic. The thing that you can rely on the most is change, and change is inevitable. And things are always morphing and changing. If it's not in our personal relationship, it's the world. If it's not the world, it's politics. If it's not politics, it's everything, right? Nature has this natural rhythm of change all the time. And we want to be, just imagine this heart that's strong. We want to be a divine, strong, loving heart first for ourselves. If you're in a flight and something goes wrong and the flight's going down, you want to put that oxygen mask on you first so you can be in service to another, right? You want that oxygen first to yourself. You need that strength for yourself first. And that's why it's so important that we are strong hearts, strong divinity, strong connection to source, strong connection to creator, right? So we have that strength within. So no matter what happens, that person's in our life, that person's not in our life, this relationship worked out, this relationship didn't work out, knowing that you are love already, that your cup is full and you are full of this divine energy flowing through you, and it's accessible all the time, all the time. No matter where you are, you can just tap into that energy when you forget and say, oh my God, I'm divine. I am this love. Right? So that's where we're aiming to achieve in every single now moment of our life. Every single now moment of our life, we want to overflow with divine love and have a strong, vital heart. Now, when you have the identity of the heart of the other with that experience, this might sound like something, this person completes me. Well, in actuality, it doesn't, because nobody can complete you. You are already complete. You are already whole. Nobody can come in and change that. Somebody can come and mirror who you are and what you are. It's a mirror effect, but they can't complete you because you are a whole, complete being, right? It also sounds like I must need them to feel love again. So maybe you had such an amazing experience with someone. You fell in love. Everything was awesome. You went on an adventure of life together, and it was absolutely amazing. And you felt so much love. But then something happened, it ended, or somebody moved away, whatever it is, it's not there anymore physically. And then you want to say, like, oh my God, but I must need that person because I need to feel that love again. But what if you just mirrored your own love? What if that person, you had that love inside and it just amplified it and you're that all the time? Okay. It also sounds like putting somebody on a pedestal. Oh my God, they're amazing. Oh my God, he's this and this and this. Oh my God, da, 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 without actually acknowledging your throne, like putting them in a higher state of a pedestal without acknowledging your own throne. And what we want to experience as having each our own throne and seeing the king and queen in each other, seeing the god and goddess in each other, and mirroring that divine unity, that divine ecstasy within both, so that continues in life and continues to ripple into the consciousness of creation. When we will operate and when we operate from that state of being of divine love, this becomes a ripple effect. And also, you'll notice that you will need less things from the other person because you feel amazing. And if you feel amazing, you don't really need anything from somebody. Somebody just comes and amplifies that amazingness into more amazingness. But if they leave, you're also still amazing. Okay. Also, projecting power onto them instead of recognizing the power within. They are the one that holds the power. They're the one that are amazing. They're the one that's doing all the amazing things. But no, what about you? Like you're there. If you're an amazing person, then you are amazing. Like if you magnetize that, that means that's within you. And we want, again, I'm going to say this one more time. We want our power to be sovereign. We want our power to be sovereign. We are sovereign in our power. So no one can really come in and control how we feel. Nobody's behavior can create insecurity within ourselves. If you're secure in your nature, how can something make you feel insecure? If somebody actually makes you feel uncomfortable or insecure, then it'll be easy to leave because you're like, I don't need this crap. Pardon my French. I don't need this crap. Like if somebody comes in and doesn't make you feel good, because it's all about feeling good. We want to feel good in life. We want to feel amazing in life. We want to thrive. We want to thrive, not just get by with, oh my God, my day was okay. We want to have an amazing day. We want to have a beautiful day. We want to walk on this earth shining bright, having magnificent relationships. This is what we want to experience. And if you're not having that experience, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why you're trapped in the identity of the other and let it go. Sometimes it's easier said than done. I get it. Sometimes people have families, sometimes people have commitments, and life gets really messy and tricky, but you are your own boss. And I'm just here to remind you that you are in your power. You are in your power. So, signs that you are holding the identity of the other. So, this is if you're like, I don't know if I'm holding an identity. Sometimes we have blind spots. How are you supposed to know? So, you define your sense of self by the role you play in the relationship. So, you only know who you are in that relationship. You only, like, let's say for a married couple, this is pretty easy because I'm a wife. This is what I am. I'm a wife for my husband and I'm a mother to my children. Okay, yeah, you are a mother and you are a wife, but who are you? Because it's not who you are. You are a whole individual. You are a whole universe. You're a mother to 3 kids, fine, but you are also a person. You're an individual. You also have your own soul mission. Everybody, yes, you give yourself when you're a mother. You are a wife for another man. And where are you? Where's your identity of your own sovereign state, right? This is a very easy and classic kind of example of how you can get lost in a connection. You feel uncertain about who you are outside of the relationship. You know, those people that just want to be in a relationship because they can't be alone. Because, oh my God, if I'm alone, oh my God, I don't know how to be alone. Anxiety. Like, what are people going to think if I'm alone? Like, oh no, is my life happy when I'm alone? Like, there's all this societal conditioning about women that are single, men that are single, certain age. Like, there's so much expectation. So what happens when somebody is in that experience out of the social conditioning that we were born into? Does that make them not okay? Does that something's wrong with them? No, it doesn't. It means that they're on their own path and they have another experience. Not everyone is meant to be in a long lasting marriage, and not everyone is supposed to have children, and not everyone is supposed to be with one person. You know, there's all these experiences and things that are people experiencing right now that are trying to break free from everything that we've been conditioned to. And I do believe that the sovereign state of spirituality, of walking the spiritual state of enlightenment, and really, I'm going to say this, and I say this every time, that enlightenment is just getting lighter. We start shedding the things that aren't ours: conditioning, societal expectations, trauma, generational trauma, the things that have been passed on to us. Like, we are free. We are free, sovereign people. And we can choose what's right for us without all of that noise. A lot of people on the spiritual path need that solitude to understand who they are, to understand source, to understand how to work with spirit. Like, how do I work with spirit? How do I work with all that, these abilities that I have? Like, I know that I'm on this path. I've been, and that alone time that I had, that sovereign space that I had, that I still have, gave me this time to create and birth into reality a new healing modality, understand how to clear people, to work on people, to speak light language, to draw, to automatic writing. If I was in a relationship, I would have been distracted and I wouldn't have time to sit with my craft, to sit with my wisdom and learn this wisdom. And so there's just also so many blessings to be on your own sovereign path, right? You feel uncertain about who you are outside of the relationship. You base your identity on being their partner. So, like, oh, who are you? Oh, I'm his partner. This is my partner. So you don't even say your name anymore. Oh, I'm this partner. So that I am this partner. Hear what I'm saying? Like, I am this, I am his partner. So, like, instead of being like, oh, my name is Morayana, I am my own individual. So sometimes I'm his wife. Oh, I'm her husband. Like, we start identifying and meshing with another person instead of being sovereign. You shape your identity around the relationship dynamic instead of your own soul path. This is what I was talking before. So if you're in connection and your relationship and you guys are kind of like doing this relationship thing and you're spending a lot of time together, and if you don't have a healthy boundary around your own space, your own sovereignty, your own endeavors, your own growth, your own spiritual journey, then you start to get lost. I know a lot of beautiful couples that have been together for quite a long time and married, and they live in separate houses, and it works amazing for them. And they're all spiritual teachers. I'm noticing that this is a thing. Like, a lot of the relationships that I see that work, they either have separate rooms, they don't sleep in the same bed, or they actually sleep in separate houses, and that gives time and space for each one to go through their own experience, through their own growth, to come back and integrate, to come back and feel their emotions. Women are very emotional. Men are very logical and doers and go, go, go. And women, we need to feel our emotions. Like, I know that if I'm in experience and I'm feeling something, I need time to process and understand what I'm feeling just by sitting with self. Because I'm so sensitive. So I know that a lot of women can relate to this because we're just emotional creatures. And if we don't have that space to integrate and feel and understand ourselves, sometimes that can project to the other person. If you're with that other person all the time, it can start being, you can get lost in each other, basically. So having time and space for each other, time and space for each of your own experience is gold. It's absolute gold and luxury also. And okay, Daya is also saying that men are the same way. And sorry for, yes, men can also be emotional. I was speaking about and yes, this men are also emotional. They also need a process. They need their man cave. They need to integrate, and they have their own way of doing it, right? Men typically are more logical. They're more in the brain. Maybe they need to express themselves. Maybe they play music. Maybe they're doing something artistic. Daya, what do you do when you need to integrate your emotions? But I was just talking about the polarity, how women are more emotional, fluid, they feel everything, and how the man is the go, 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 go. But we all have feelings, obviously, and we all process in a different way. And that's why, like, if you are in a connection and you want to try something maybe that I see that works with couples that are together and they're doing it really wonderful, you really, really see like beauty coming out of that connection, is having their own separate homes or having two separate rooms or really having that time for self and not getting lost, purposely not getting lost and meshed with another person. Okay. Jaya is saying for him, what works for him is walking in time in nature. And that's nature is the best medicine. And also, if you can hug a tree or hug a rock or just put your hands on the earth, literally you're releasing energy into the earth. And you're also receiving so much good vibrations from the earth that helps nourish your biosystem and your energetic system. And that can bring so much balance into the body. Thanks, Daya. So you're lost in your own identity when the relationship shifts or ends. And I know that I've experienced in the past, I've experienced loving somebody so much that when it ended, I was gone. I wasn't able to function. I couldn't get out of bed. This has happened to me quite a few breakups, maybe two specific ones that I remember, that I had a really hard time to function. If you had that experience, also let me know. And I swore to myself, let's not use the word swore. I made a pact with me, and I made a pact that I will never, ever let a relationship with anyone ever again bring me down to that low point in my life, ever. And I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to love myself. I'm always going to come back to my heart and back to my connection with the divine, because that is the strongest connection that we are going to have until our last breath on this planet. And until we understand that, that's going to be the absolute remedy for everything that we experience with this another connection in relationship with another person. Is Silver here? Wow, I met Silver yesterday. Welcome to the show. Love to have you here. Nice to have you, darling. Okay, so your inner world revolves around maintaining the relationship without embodying your own life path. And that is exactly what you don't want to reach. You want, even if you're married, even if you're in a relationship, even if you're married for 30, 40 years, and you are a mother to 10 kids, and you have been always in service to your family and your husband, you can always decide to wake up from that and decide to start seeking out what you want to do in life, what you want to learn in life. If you've never really did that, maybe you really were in complete service to your children and complete service to your husband, and it just took so much time and you had no time for yourself. And now you're waking up to a reality and like, oh my God, but who am I? Meditate, go do yoga. Yoga doesn't have to be also very complicated. You can just, moving one head from side to side, sitting and breathing is yoga. Sitting with yourself, asking Creator to show you what your life purpose is, asking Creator to show you what your next mission is. Also trying new things, trying painting, walking, skipping, swimming, going to nature, singing, opening your voice, take a class, anything to discover your gifts and what you like doing. And no age matters. Doesn't matter how old you are. You can do this anytime in your life. So the activation that I am offering, which is coming up on Wednesday, June 11th, it's going to be the day after the full moon. We are going to have an activation that is going to be talking and transmuting and working on the identity of the other. And I think this is so like all my activations have been leading up to this point, and you'll see that it's going to continue. Like every 2 weeks that I'm doing these activations, they kind of lead into more depth around sovereignty, more depth into our heart, more depth of releasing things in connection that we don't need, and until we become that one, the one holy and true, until we really embody that. And this activation is a continuum of one that we did last week. That was about, what was it called? It was codependency. It was coming back. It was releasing codependency and bringing our identity to independent identity. And it tied into the attachment theory. And so this is a continuum. You don't have to do the other one in order to do this one. But if you want to have more depth and more results, I would say, because it gets deeper and deeper, right? There's so many layers to our subconscious and our identity and how we relate. And there's layers and layers and layers. So there's like one subject and another subject. And so this is just a continuum of that. If you haven't had a chance to do the other one, I recommend to go and do it. You can find it on Deep Intuitive Healing. You can find it on the activation page. It's there ready. And then you can do that and join this one. So in this activation, we're going to clear energetic identity entanglements and relationships with lovers, twin flames, karmic attachments, relationships from the past lives. It doesn't always have to be from this lifetime. We might have also in our subconscious behavior patterns that come from a past life that are connected to certain souls, certain identities of other people that were really important parts of our life in a past life. And that's going to be shifted in this activation. And the illusion that another holds the source of your joy, love, and destiny. No one holds your joy, love, and destiny. It's you hold the joy, love, and destiny. You can have the most awful day and be like crying, and you can make a decision to say, I'm not going to suffer anymore. Have you ever had that experience? Have you ever had an experience where you're like, I'm not going to suffer anymore. I don't want to suffer I just don't want to be in suffering in my mind. I decide to be in joy. And you got up and you started jumping around. Maybe you went out for a walk and you're like, I'm going to shake this off. Shake it out of the body. Like, I don't want to keep this in my body anymore. And so you decide that you're joy from now on. So this is going to amplify the knowing and the subconscious and your belief system that you are love, and love is joy, and joy is who you are. And so we're going to implement that really deeply into the subconscious. We're going to reclaim the sacred union within, where the lover and the beloved are one, and the lover and the beloved is your heart of the divine in your heart. It's inside your heart, not externally. Now, if I say in the activation, I've been channeling this a lot, the lover and the beloved intangible reality. When I say those words, that means that's a reflection of what's inside. That is tangible reality in another individual. But it's the lover and the beloved intangible reality, meaning they are also the lover and the beloved within their own heart, intangible reality in the physical. And you'll hear that in the activation over and over again. Okay, because the idea is to download into our subconscious. And when I say the word download, it's like a hard drive. So if our subconscious is a hard drive, let's just think about a hard drive, like a key hard drive. It's information. So when I release this information from your subconscious, it's like putting a hard drive in your subconscious and removing everything that we don't want and implementing what we do want and just saying who we are and downloading what we are and clearing what we don't want, with specific wording, with specific downloads that creates the reality of the truth of your subconscious. And that's what you become. So you start walking as that identity, as that information. And when you become that information, when the information in your subconscious has actually shifted to what you want and not what you don't want, that's the mirror. That's when you start magnetizing a person that holds that same frequency of that information that we downloaded into your subconscious. And so when I do these activations, that's what's happening. The information, everything in the wording in your subconscious is being shifted, is being transformed into what you actually want to experience, and releasing what you don't want to experience. And that you become the vessel of that information. Okay. So anchor, heal contract. Okay. We're also going to heal contracts, oaths, and agreements made from fear-based love or distorted devotion. Let me try to find an example. So it serves me. Let me see. So like an oath, I have contracts and agreements. Okay, maybe you as a soul came here to have a contract and agreement to learn love, to understand love through fear. So all your experiences, and that could be a pact that you made, an oath that you made in a past life because somebody hurt you so much. So like the subconscious created a story. I don't want love. Oh, so I'm going to attract love with fear so I can learn actually how to come back to love or something like that. the subconscious works in a very interesting way, and it creates all kinds of oath contracts and agreements without us even realizing that we're doing it. It's not like I'm saying, oh my God, I'm going to create a contract and write a contract. It's not like that. It's a kind of like a subconscious agreement with yourself. Maybe somebody got hurt in life so much that they're like, I'm never getting married again. You know, that's a contract. You just said, I'm never getting cancel, clear. But if you're saying that, I'm never getting married again, God, creator, whatever, I'm not getting married ever again. Love sucks. I don't want to ever feel like this again. Subconsciously, you just made a pact that you're never going to get married again because you said it. Your words are power. Everything you say is a tattoo on your forehead. Everything you say is a tattoo in your subconscious. So just recognizing that. So what we're going to do is clear oaths, contracts, and agreements to release any agreement that you have with yourself, with creator, to form relationships with fear and to learn love through fear of another. Fearing somebody will leave, fearing somebody's going to leave you alone, fearing somebody's going to die, fearing somebody is going to abandon you, fear that, oh my God, so many things can be related to fear that the person's going to cheat on you, or think it's so many different things, right? When we're in connection, all of our little inner child fears come up. And so we're going to release that oath, contract, and agreement to experience love through fear. And we're going to experience love through love. From love creates more love. Okay. We're going to anchor identity into love thyself all and not love thyself all in the heart of another. Now, I love that my guides have been coming through in this like channeling nuance. You know, they always say, love thyself, love thyself, love thyself, love thyself. In the Bible, love thyself, love thyself. And I was writing that for a while, but now there's that all that comes after love thyself. And I'm like, what do you mean by love thyself all? Love thyself all means totality of you. Your shadow, your light, your insecurities, your needs, your everything that you are, everything that made you who you are today is all of love thyself. And when there's love thyself none, and that's another expression that I channel, you attract love thyself none. You might be in a relationship of love thyself none, and that feels in lack and scarcity. And you would know that if you feel lack and scarcity. If you're in a connection and you're feeling scarcity, love, fear, like fear, and fear is like the absence of love, and you're feeling that you're always cycling in your mind and looping and feeling insecure, and that's love thyself none. And we want to shift it to love thyself all. Okay. Release fear-based polarity, restoring balance between your inner divine feminine and your masculine. And that's going to come up also in this activation, talking a lot about the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and restoring that inner union, strengthening that inner union within yourself, because we all have masculine and feminine identity within us, and we want it to be balanced. We want it to be strong. We want it to be incredibly, incredibly strong. So when another identity of love thyself all comes and mirrors you, you're both in that power. And that becomes like the powerhouse. I think that is like the ultimate love of love thyself all, to be in your wholeness with your cup overflowing with love. And that becomes the reflection of what you magnetize into your life. Right? Okay. And then the most important thing, return to the heart, holy and true, where love leads. And I can't see, with devotion to self. So return to heart, holy and true, where love leads with devotion to self. And then you become a devotional master lover, a devotional master lover to self. You become your own beloved. You become like this juicy, radiant being that is in love with life, with everything that comes their way. Now, I'm not saying you have to be on ecstasy all the time. Life does all kinds of things. But let's say that's like 80-20. We're aiming for 80% ecstasy, love, and joy, and juicy, yummy love. And 20% leave that for all the rest of the stuff of the emotions of the human experience. Wouldn't that be nice if we can actually reach those levels? Because like sadness is real, grief is real, things happen. If we can be on 100% ecstasy all the time and not let anything touch us, wow, that would be incredible. And maybe that's the goal. I haven't reached that 100% yet. I think that for me, it's been 80-20, sometimes 80-30, depends on how I feel in my heart, and also my moon cycles. I'm a woman, let's be real, right? I have hormones, things playing in my genetics. But for the most part, and talking about the genetic and my hormones for women, if we cleanse, I will say that when I do cleanses and clean my body and I feel more balanced, and I never feel that my cycles affect me as bad. So it's also knowing as a woman to bring your cycles and like understand your cycles and understand what foods calms your nervous system and really helps your hormone growth. And we're not going to talk hormone balance, and we're not going to talk about that right now, but it's something to consider as a female with her experience and her emotions and her feelings on this in this world. So after the activation, what you may experience is a reprogramming of the subconscious identity, right? That's not you may, we are going to do that. We are definitely going to reprogram the subconscious identity. That's a given. Strengthen your identity in love. That's definitely going to strengthen your identity with love. That's the whole point. A deep sense of liberation from codependent or unreciprocated love patterns. So it's about reciprocity, right? We're also like, if you're in a connection where you're depleted, there's like there's codependent relationships where you're feeling when you're unreciprocated in love, there's going to be this codependency, right? Of like give and take. What we want to experience is an abundance of reciprocity of giving and receiving in a harmonious balance is gold. It's what that's the jackpot. That's when people are their cup is so overfull that they have so much to give. They have so much to give. They have so much to give. And then the person also is their cup is full. So they just pour back into you. And there's this reciprocity of giving and receiving. And it's so yummy. Like when you are reaching that point where it's really coming from a place of wholeness, it gets so juicy and so yummy. And even if you don't have a relationship and you're on your own, it's even relating with your neighbors, relating in the grocery store, relating with every creature on this planet becomes that overflow, yummy, ecstasy, juicy wonderment of the divine that you are absolutely radiating this love from your heart to the external. Energetic clarity and soul sovereignty, which is really this journey, these activations, and all these things that I channel and bring into this tangible reality to share with you is all about this soul sovereignty. It's about our heart sovereignty. It's about being clear. It's about being in peace. And that's what we really want to cultivate is this inner peace, this soul sovereignty and alignment with our inner divine union. That's it. We want to be in alignment with our divine masculine, with our divine feminine within self, and have that be the mirror of what we're actually calling in, what we actually want to experience. And so this will be another level, another transmission to strengthen, to bring this energy, everything we just talked about, into wholeness within self. So life is just going to be easy, flowy, peaceful, loving, magnetic, and beautiful, right? That's what we want. And peace, like we don't want to be in this scarcity of mindset and being lost in another. We really want to be in this like powerful state of peace within self, that we become this pillar of light, walking and spreading our light everywhere we go. So how do you know if this activation is for you? If you've lost yourself in someone else's energy and their identity, maybe you've been with somebody for a long time, maybe you can't let go of somebody in the mind and you want to just come back into sovereignty, this is for you. Possibly you went through a breakup and can't let go of the other person. Maybe it's been weeks, months, a year, maybe years, and you're ready to let go and you're ready to just disconnect from that other person's identity and let it go in your mind. This is for you. Maybe you often feel your heart tied to someone who cannot meet you, right? You have somebody's in your life, you're relating to somebody, but they can't meet you and you're not letting it go. That's a sign that you are lost in another person and you don't think that you're strong enough to find the something or the someone that will be in this reciprocity of giving and receiving in a harmonious state. You want to experience divine partnership in physical reality while maintaining sovereignty and not losing yourself in another person. This is for you. And if you're ready to come back home to your heart of identity, of self, of your inner union, your inner divine masculine and feminine polarity, this is for you. And you'll return to the identity of love thyself all, love thyself all, and no longer seeking wholeness in another, but manifesting union through the heart of truth, devotion, and divine embodiment. Now, how can you balance this at home as a practice, right? Maybe you're not going to participate in the activation, which is totally okay. But let's talk about how we can bring it back to balance. When love returns to the divine heart, which is you. Since you were born, you've always been the divine heart. The beloved comes a mirror and not a source of love. So just think about being a baby entering this world and being so pure. When you're a baby, have you ever seen babies' eyes? They're so big and pure. Like the baby is so pure. It's just cosmic light. And then comes the parents with their conditioning, and then comes school, and then comes society, and then comes reflections with other children in school, and maybe trauma, and maybe failed relationships. And then all this stuff comes in, and that baby becomes conditioned. And so we want to start releasing those conditioning and bring it back to balance and remembering the divinity that we actually, that purity that we already are. Okay. So how do you know if you're already in balance? Is love is no longer lost when other people shift their energy. Devotional love flows to self. So you become your devotional ally. Everything that you do is an act of devotion to self. Everything that you do is a decision to elevate your divine heart. Yeah. The identity is no longer borrowed, it's embodied. You're not borrowing an identity. Oh, I'm the girlfriend. Oh, I'm his wife. You are embodied divine God, goddess. You are that God or that queen on that pedestal. It's you. It's basically you. You are the pedestal. You are that queen, that king on that pedestal. Love flows within, anchored in divine self and trust. You receive from source, creation, the universe becomes your source, your sense of power, the sense of energy, and not seeking it outside of yourself. You become magnetic to pure devotional love without attachment. And reciprocity becomes natural. You're not chasing, you're not proving anything. That reciprocity becomes a natural state of giving and receiving with another people or people in your life or whatever it is, because you are pure and you are in your power and you're overflowing, and that reflects what you get back from the other. The beloved becomes a reflection and not a definition of who you are. So let's just say that you're in a relationship, and this is something that I embody too. Like if I'm in a relationship and I start feeling in a connection something that's off, oh my God, I am feeling my energy shift because of this person did or didn't do something. I always come back to self and ask, what is the belief behind this that is causing this experience in my reality? And the power in doing that is not blaming the other person for something that they did. They're living their own life. They're their own creature. They're their own person with their own conditioning, with everything, right? So you can't blame somebody for being who they are. They are who they are. But if something doesn't feel good within self, you come and you ask yourself, what is inside of me that is creating this reality, and how do I bring it into balance? And that's something that I really recommend to start practicing. Is instead, if you feel something off in a connection, you don't project, don't fight with the other person. Don't even get into a negative conversation. Let it be. Go home and start journaling and asking yourself, what inside of me is creating this experience? What inside of me is creating this experience in my reality? And what do I need to do? What belief do I need to shift in order to bring it back to balance? Okay. The beloved becomes a reflection and not a definition. We said that. Your choices come from the inner alignment, not emotional reaction. So if you're in a relationship and you are worried about how the person is going to react, because from your choices, so you're choosing to do something or not do something because you're worried of how the other person is going to react. That means that you're putting them on a pedestal and you're not voicing out what's right for you. And so this is something that's important to understand, that when you're in balance, your choices come from inner alignment and not because of how the other person will react. Okay. You feel grounded, freedom, emotional freedom, and whole with or without the other. All right. The practices that are my favorite, and there's also many practices in the world, but my favorite, especially when I'm in the mind and my mind is very chatty and there's a lot of stories going on, is sitting in silence and meditation with something like an incense that smells really good, lighting a candle, tuning out, putting some calming music like binaural beats, and just something that's really calming. You can also look up on YouTube. I like Reiki music with like sounds of rain, and that can really relax and find your breath with meditation and breathe the life force. Your breath is life force, and just breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, or just through the nose. It depends what makes you feel good. And whatever, and start relaxing your nervous system. Okay? Self-regulating your nervous system. Prayer, prayer. Just pray. Pray for what you want. Pray for what you need. If you don't know what you need, ask Creator to show you, where do I need to go? Who can help me? Send assistance. Send me a healer. Send me a friend. Send me the information that I need to let go of this experience that I'm experiencing that I don't want to experience, and bring in the information of the experience that I do want to experience, right? Yoga, dance, movement. The most important thing, that if you're feeling emotionally down or something negative, I can't say enough about movement, because it's in the body. That energy is energy, and energy transforms. So like if you're going to move your body, you're going to move it out of the body. So you need to move it out. That's why dance is so good. That's why I'm in love with dance. Dance just shakes it out, shakes it out, shakes it out. Movement, yoga, and mirror work. Get a mirror and talk loving to yourself. Oh my God, you're so cute. Oh my God, your dimples. Oh my God, your eyes. Oh my God, your hair. Oh my God, your lips. You're so cute. Oh my God, Morayana. Oh my God, I would do you. No, I'm kidding. I'm being very, very silly right now. But yeah, just love you up. Just like say how amazing you are, how gorgeous you are, how adorable you are, how sexy you are, and just talk you up. Just talk you up, and do it with a smile. Laugh about it, or maybe be serious and just maybe even take off your clothes and look at yourself in the mirror. When was the last time you saw yourself and just stared at your body and loved your body and witnessed your body and saw your beauty, with stretch marks, with all the things, with all the different things? Maybe you were a little bit curvy. Maybe you could, have you ever like worshipped your everything? Have you ever worshipped your curves, your stretch marks? For a man, maybe the beard, maybe little, I don't know, like anything, that hair, maybe you have a little bit extra hair, and like just worship it, bless it, love it, and just practice that inner mirror work. Because when you see yourself from the eyes through the divine, that starts to ripple out through the experience in the outer world. And self-love affirmations, I'm a true believer in love thyself all through it. The word, when we speak the word, that becomes our reality. I know this as a light languager. I know this as someone that channels automatic writing. I know this as a fact that everything we say, we implement into consciousness. And so self-love affirmations is one of the most powerful ways to reverse our belief systems. And when we repeat it and repeat it, repetitive consistency in saying them can bring huge changes into your consciousness and into your life. And nature is free. Nature is there. Go spend time in nature. Bring that balance. Just lie down in the water. Maybe you have an ocean, the beach. Go sit in the water. Go hug a tree. Walk in nature in a forest. Maybe you have a dune. Maybe you're in a desert. Wherever it is that you are, just find a place in nature and just bask in Mama Gaia. She's there to hold you at all times. Okay. So if you haven't already, like, comment, and share. And comment on the link below this video where you're tuning in from. If you are experiencing losing yourself with the identity of the other, please let me know. I want to know your story. And also, if you feel like somebody's going to benefit from this information, please share this video and give us a subscribe and the thumbs up, because it helps me with the algorithm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for that. And so the releasing identity of the other is happening on full moon Wednesday, the day after the full moon, June 11th. That's going to happen this Wednesday at 6 p.m. EST. And yeah, if you feel like this information is touching you in a place where you feel like this is something that can really assist you on your sovereignty path, on your spiritual path, on your path back to wholeness, please sign up. I think you would benefit from it tremendously. And now we are going into channeling a live sigil. I'm going to do it for, let's say, if it's already almost an hour. So I'm going to channel for 15 minutes. How does that feel? All right, people here, just let me know in the chat how you're doing. And let's just see what you guys have been commenting. Hello, all the new people that are here. Amazing. Andrew was saying before, I do agree men seem to want to identify and fix problems, where I believe the feminine is better at feeling the emotions, the good and the bad, at least in my experience. Yeah, because it's like the females were the intuitive emotional, and some men are also very emotional. I'm not just saying it's just women, but it is like the, the masculine and feminine polarity traits of the men is the doer. The men is like, it's a doer. He wants to do, he wants to fix, he's the go, 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 go. And the women is like, oh my God, this feels good. This doesn't feel good. This feels good. This doesn't feel good. We're always in this like emotional water, feeling everything through feeling. So I definitely feel that that's truth for me. But I mean, there's also levels to so many different individuals, but that's just like in the general aspect of divine feminine masculine polarity. So Silver, I met yesterday. Hello, welcome. I'm so happy to have you in the tribe. That's awesome. And ready. So I want you guys to tell me what you want the sigil to assist you with. I can also choose, but let's hear some ideas, right? What do you need right now? What do you need in your life right now? And start throwing out ideas in the chat and see what I choose. What do you need right now? Sit down, put your hand on your heart. What do you need right now? And I'm waiting for your answers. So my eyes are on the chat, and ask yourself what you need right now. And then just write it on the live chat, and I will choose one that feels good, and we're going to create a sigil, and then we're going to share the sigil for free for everybody. Any ideas going once? Any ideas going twice? Integrating the self. Integrating the self. That's Dayaz. I'm not sure. Divine wisdom. Okay. To be free. Anybody else? Free from what, Ariel? What do you want to be free from? Because free is a very, very, very general word. What do you want to be free from? I'm grateful to hear what the channeling has to say. Amazing. What, like if I would channel what I want to do for this, let's see what the divine, you know what? So Ariel, if you can define, because I like to be free from things, but what are we freeing ourselves from? How about, okay. So I'm going to try to find, how about Dai is saying integrating the self, Andrew is saying divine wisdom, Ariel wants to be free, and Silver wants to enjoy what the channeling has to say. So what I'm feeling is strengthening our connection to source energy, because strengthening our connection to source energy is going to give us wisdom. It's going to assist us with integration with self. And it's also going to liberate us from anything that we don't need. Okay. So I'm going to channel. Ariel wants to be free. She just mentioned that. I want to be free. She wants to be free. Okay. So my intention for the sigil that I'm creating right now, the intention is to strengthen our connection to the divine in our heart. Okay. Strengthening the connection to source energy in our heart. So I'm going to put a different camera. Let's see if I got this going on. I don't do this very often, so hang on. I'm so tech savvy. Okay. Let us try this. Bear with me. Camera 1, camera 2. Can you see that? Okay, let me get this out of the way. Let me get these dots out of the way. You can see it? Okay, let me get this microphone closer to me. Can you see? Oh my God, I'm getting better tech savvy. All right, here we go. Creator of all that is, it is commanded to download a sigil for the collective to strengthen our divine heart with your energy, with source creation, to embody source creation, to open our heart to receive source energy in the highest and best way, that our heart is able to receive love, to receive divine power, to receive divine sovereignty, and teach our heart that it is worthy to receive the love of the divine, the heart of the divine, source energy of love. And may this source energy teach us to balance our divine heart with love thyself and love of the other forevermore. And so it is. You know what? Let me try to put some music in the background. One moment. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Music, music. Can you hear this? Okay, great. Awesome. I think this will give us a little bit of ambiance. Okay. Udarakitra sayana shatrakitra undarakatra satarakitra undarakatra shatarakitra ya undarakatra satarakitra ya andarakutra saidara indra shatarakitra ya sutarakatra katarashitra ya. Yetara sitara heyana he idarakatra heyana ha. Idarasayana et arashiatra hok arasiatra shat arakitra huk arasiatra shat arakitra hok arakitra sai atrakitra ok arashiatra saidana kitra hok arashiatra saina undra hak arakitra sut arakitra shat arakitra undra sai et arashiatra hak arashiatra satarakitra ondarakitra shatarakitra sayana undra hadarakitra otarakitra shiitra sutarakitra om mama sitarakatara hendra sedara hundrayana he sadra hindara he omma sadara heyana ha idarayana he sadre adarayana ha. Onda sadara indrayam hem he. Onda sadara hindrayana he idarayana heyana sidarayana huma sadreyana adara kitrayana ha. Ondara sit andara indrasai ot urukatra saidara kitra hok arashiatra saidara kitra hak arashiatra he sudara kitra saidara kitra andara kitra sut arashaya katarashindra undara sayana hak arakitra sundara katra ashara kitra hatara kitra ummasiatra shadara kitra ot arashatra sayana indra hak arashitra sutara kitra shak arakitra handara kitra sundara katra shatara kitra shandara kitra sundara katra shayana indra ondara kitra sayana indra katra hotara shitra ayana uma soyana itara shiatra sayana indra kitra om mama shiatra enana siatra hak arashiatra sundara katra shayana indra sayana undara ketra inna sayana uma shiatra hatara kitra undara sai hundara sayana Umma sadara indara he adara hayane ya idara yane hasayana he adara yane ha. Suadarayana he Sadarahindraya he Adara Umha. So my hands are guided to my heart. You can't see me do it. I guess I need to put 2 cameras, but but right now I'm guiding the codes into my heart hand by hand. Placing one hand on my heart, the other hand, bringing that energy and that frequency to my heart. All right. I'm back. So in a moment, I will also channel when I hop off of this show of the instructions. I'll create the instructions and then you can claim your free sigil. We'll have, if you want the free sigil, Ariel, how are we going to do this? Do you have a link ready? Or let me know how you want, if you want people to email us. If you want, first let's start with an email. If you do want to claim the free sigil that I just created to strengthen your heart with source energy, you are welcome to email contact@deepintuitivehealing.com and request one. And I'm sure that Ariel is also going to create a link here on the bottom of this YouTube show so you can claim it. Yeah, and you'll have directions on how to use it very shortly when you claim it. Let me just quiet this background music. Awesome. That was really soothing, right? Did you like the music in the background? Did that add some ambience to the experience? Yay. All right, my dear, beloved, beautiful humans on these planet light beings, your frequency is magnetic and loving and joyful and wonderful. And I loved having you here today. I loved having you part of this show. I love having you part of my journey. Each and every one of you is just so much full of love and joy. Really, I love you so, so much. And I'm so grateful for you. I'll also share, okay, so Daya is saying to share it on Telegram. I will also share the free sigil on Telegram and put the instructions there too. That's a great idea. Thank you for bringing that up. And I want to do more of these sigils in live so people can really understand how much energy I put into it. Also, I have been working on my website. I don't know if you guys have been going in and out of my website, but I've been doing a lot of work on my website and trying to make things a little more balanced and easier to navigate. And I did create a booking one-on-one private session page. There's currently a tiny little bug with the titles on them. So if you are going to go into that link, just know that the titles are not placed in the, I don't know why it's doing that. I've been trying to fix this for days. I'm going to be able to do it. It's happening now. But yeah, there is a session page. You can go into Deep Intuitive Healing, go to the menu or the front page, and you'll see sessions, private sessions, and all my offerings that I put, new offerings like doing light language activations, personal light language activations, and sigils, personal sigils for you. And there's different options on that page to sign up and do personal sessions with me. I will put the link for private sessions here under this show. Ariel, you can also put it in the live chat here. You get 10% off discount. Well, let me find this. If you want to do healing sessions with me, you can use a coupon code for 10% off. I am Divine 10. The website is deepintuitivehealing.com. You will find private sessions on the front page. Please forgive my little bug that I have with the titles there right now. It's not going to last there forever. And if you're watching this in a different time, it's probably going to be resolved by then. And so just know that that is an option. You get a 10% coupon code, and there's many different options there right now with a lot of description of what I'm offering. And Light Scribe art, if you're into my art and you want to check out any cool wall art that has live frequency, energy and channeled art, and also wear them, you can go to lightscribeshop.com and see the different clothes that you can wear with my art. You can see the art that you can print on your wall, and I print them on metal and on paper and on wood. I also do custom channel tattoos. And I really soon, maybe next week, I'm going to try to do weekly shows from now on. And so maybe next week, okay, let me commit. Next week on Friday, I'm going to do a show about my evolution of my artwork, of how I started channeling and what that looks like and how my journey has been. So you'll understand and see my process and how I got into Light Scribe and how I started channeling Light Scribe. So stay tuned for next week. That is going to be a special show. It's going to be a really good show. I've been wanting to do this for years and I haven't done it. I will be showing examples of what it looked like when I started channeling and the evolution and how it evolved with time. All right. So look forward to that next week on Friday. I love you so, 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 so. You are beautiful. You are radiant. You are powerful. You are sovereign. You are magnetic, and you can create the life of your dreams now. You just affirm yes. Give me a yes in the chat. Give me a yes in the comments below. Just affirm yes. I am magnetic and I create the life of my dreams now. And so it is. See you on Wednesday, June 11th. To release the identity of the other and become our sovereign queen and king inside self. And you're loved and you're beautiful and I adore you and I squeeze you and I love you and I see you on Wednesday. And if you can't make the Wednesday activation, I will see you on Friday. I will see you next Friday for our show, for my artwork, for my evolution of my channeling. All right. So much love to you. Blessings to your heart, blessings to your life, and blessings to your journey. Mahalo nui loa. Bye. Aloha.